What if I told you that a teenager from the Canary Islands became Barcelona's midfield maestro in just 2 years? Today, we're breaking down exactly how you can play like Pedri, the Spanish wonder kid who's redefining modern football. By the end of this video, you'll master the 3 secrets that make Pedri unstoppable in midfield. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered how a 22-year-old can control games against players twice his age? Pedri Gonzalez isn't just any midfielder. He's the player who made Xavi say, "He reminded me of myself at that age." The kid who won the Golden Boy Award. The teenager who became Spain's youngest ever European Championship player. But here's what most people don't know. Pedri's success isn't about natural talent alone. It's about 3 specific skills that any player can develop. Skills that separate average midfielders from world-class playmakers. And the crazy part? These skills are hiding in plain sight. So what makes Pedri so special? Let's dive into his blueprint. Picture this. You're surrounded by 3 defenders. The ball is coming at you fast. What do? Most players panic. Pedri? He smiles. Because Pedri has mastered the lost art of receiving the ball under pressure. Watch any Barcelona game, and you'll see it. Pedri receives passes in spaces where other players wouldn't dare go. But how does he do it? The secret lies in his first touch. First, body positioning. Pedri never receives the ball square to the field. He's always at an angle, with his body already facing his next move. This gives him a 360-degree view of the pitch. But here's the game changer. Second, the cushion touch. While other players try to control the ball perfectly, Pedri lets it run slightly ahead of him. This creates space and time, the 2 most valuable things in football. Third, and this is crucial, the shoulder check. Pedri looks over his shoulder 3 times before receiving the ball. Once when the ball is with a teammate far away, once when it's traveling to him, and once after his first touch. Practice this sequence, and you'll immediately feel the difference. You'll have more time, more space, and more options. But receiving is just the beginning. The real magic happens next. What would you do if Liverpool's front 3 were charging at you at full speed? Most players would clear the ball wrong. Pedri? He nutmegs one and passes to a teammate through the legs of another. This is what coaches call being press resistant, and it's Pedri's superpower. But here's what's incredible about Pedri's press resistance. He's not the fastest player. He's not the strongest. So how does he escape pressure so easily? First, the fake. Pedri always shows the defender one thing and does another. He opens his body to pass right, then goes left. He drops his shoulder like he's turning, then plays it back. But the real secret is in his feet. Second, the quick combination. Pedri rarely takes more than 2 touches. 1 touch to control, 1 touch to pass. Sometimes just 1 touch total. This gives defenders no time to close him down. Third, the through ball vision. While defenders are focused on winning the ball, Pedri is already spotting the pass that will break their defensive line. He's thinking 2 moves ahead. Here's a training drill to master this. Set up cones in a tight square. Have friends apply pressure while you try to keep the ball and find an exit pass. Start with 3 touches, then 2, then 1. But even press resistance won't make you world-class without the 3rd secret. What if I told you that the best midfielders don't just play fast or slow? They control the heartbeat of the entire game. This is Pedri's most advanced skill. He doesn't just pass the ball. He decides when the game speeds up and when it slows down. And this is what separates good players from legends. Watch Pedri in a tight game. When his team needs to keep possession, he slows everything down. Short passes, holding the ball an extra second, making safe choices. But when he spots a chance to hurt the opponent, everything changes. First, reading the game state. Pedri constantly asks himself, what does my team need right now? Rest? Rhythm? A quick attack? His next pass depends on this answer. But here's where it gets really smart. Second, the pause. Pedri often receives the ball and waits. Just for a split second. This tiny pause forces defenders to make decisions, and that's when he strikes. Third, the progressive pass. When Pedri decides to speed up the game, he doesn't just pass forward. He passes to feed in space where his teammate can immediately threaten the goal. Practice this by playing possession games where you designate tempo changes. call out slow or fast, and see how quickly players can adapt their passing style. But knowing these secrets is only half the battle. The real question is, but wait, there's one more secret that separates Pedri from every other midfielder on the planet. Have you ever noticed how Pedri always seems to be in the right place at the right time? It's not luck. It's something coaches call spatial intelligence, and it's absolutely crucial if you want to play like it. Here's what's fascinating about Pedri's positioning. Most midfielders chase the ball. They run toward wherever the action is happening. But Pedri, he runs to where the ball is going to be. He's always one step ahead, always in the perfect spot to receive the next pass. Watch him during Barcelona's build-up play. While other players are standing still or making obvious runs, Pedri is constantly scanning, constantly moving into little pockets of space that defenders don't even notice. First, the triangle principle. Pedri always positions himself to form triangles with his teammates. This creates multiple passing options and makes it nearly impossible for opponents to mark him out of the game. Second, the half-space mastery. Pedri loves operating in the half spaces, those areas between the center of the pitch and the wings. From here, he can receive the ball facing forward and has options to pass in every direction. Third, the depth variation. Pedri never stays at the same depth for too long. He drops deep to collect the ball, then suddenly appears between the opponent's lines. This constant movement makes him unpredictable and extremely difficult to defend against. But here's the key insight that most players miss. Pedri's positioning isn't just about where he stands, it's about timing his movement perfectly. He waits until the exact moment when the passer looks up, then he moves into space. Too early, and the defender follows him. Too late, and the opportunity is gone. Practice this by playing small-sided games where you focus only on your position. Don't worry about getting the ball. Just work on being in the right place when your teammates need you. How do you actually train like Pedri when you're not at Barcelona's training ground? The answer might surprise you. Pedri's skills weren't developed in fancy facilities. They were built through simple, repetitive training that anyone can do. The Pedri training plan. Week 1 to 2. Master the receiving. 100 touches against a wall daily. Practice receiving at different angles. Add pressure by having friends close you down. Week 3 to 4. Build press resistance. Small-sided games with extra defenders. 1-touch and 2-touch restrictions. Cone weaving with time pressure. Week 5 to 6. Develop tempo control. Play possession games with tempo changes. Practice the pause and pass technique. Watch professional games and predict when tempo will change. But here's the most important part. You need to think like Pedri thinks. What goes through Pedri's mind when he's on the ball? Former Barcelona coach Ronald Koeman said something fascinating about Pedri. He plays like he's been doing it for 20 years, but he's still learning every day. This mindset is what separates Pedri from other talented young players. First, confidence without arrogance. Pedri attempts difficult passes, but never at the expense of his team. He takes risks, but calculated ones. Second, and this is crucial, constant learning. Pedri studies every mistake, every successful pass, every failed attempt. He's building a mental database of what works and what doesn't. Third, patience. Pedri never forces things. If the killer pass isn't on, he keeps the ball and waits for the next opportunity. This patience is what allows him to control games. While other players rush, Pedri waits for the perfect moment. But what happens when you combine all these elements? Imagine walking onto a pitch and feeling like you belong there. Like you can control what happens next. That's what mastering Pedri's style gives you. You'll start seeing passes that others miss. You'll feel comfortable under pressure. You'll begin to control the rhythm of your games. But remember, Pedri didn't become world-class overnight. He's been perfecting these skills since he was 8 years old. The question is, are you ready to start your journey? So there you have it, the 3 secrets that make Pedri unstoppable. Master receiving, develop press resistance, and control tempo. Which of these skills will you work on first? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you understand the beautiful game better, smash that like button and subscribe for more football breakdowns. Remember, every world-class player started exactly where you are now. The only difference? They never stopped learning. See you on the pitch.